talking to Stewart Cook, the amazing photographer behind this International Fund for Animal Welfare photo display outside of the Vancouver Art Gallery on the same day as David Levine's talk, all about the upcoming seal hunt. Stewart, I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about your background as a photographer. It's just exquisite work.
Thank you. My background is in newspaper photography.
Really?
I started as a document technician in England. It's a very traditional route through the newspaper chain. That's how I became a photographer.
And when was the first trip for you out to the ice floes on the east coast of Canada?
Well, it was about 2002, this is probably my 7th, 8th trip out. I go every year.
Stewart, have you always had a particular interest in animal subjects?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been an animal lover, and so yeah, I've always photographed animals, and I like covering animal issues that have a story. I mean, as a journalist and a photographer, I like working on stories and projects. So it's nice to be able to keep the two together and have an animal project that has a reason you're doing it. It's not just taking pretty pictures of animals, which is fun too. But I've covered humpback whale projects, the grey whales in the Atlantic. So when the seal's born, they're kind of yellowy. After a couple of days, they turn white. And so these are two white coat pups, probably about a week old, and all they're doing is feeding off their mother. They drink milk, and milk gets turned into blubber and a fat layer. But after about 3 or 4 weeks, the mother leaves, and they survive on that layer of fat and blubber. Their coat slowly changes into what they call a ragged jacket, which is like this one over here. And so he's a ragged jacket. He starts to lose his white fur and get this grey and black coloring, which is like this one. And they get this beautiful grey and black coat, which is a color of a beta. And I believe they got their name with beta because when they're learning to swim, they kind of slap the water and it makes a beating sound, so like they're beating the water. So this is one that's he's a white coat that's you can see he's much bigger, and they kind of his neck disappears and they just become these big fat blubbery seals, and he's going to live on that layer of fat and blubber while his coat changes before he can learn to swim. And then once he's learned to swim, he'll go off and start eating fish. So this is a carcass that's been left on the ice after the skin's been taken, the pelt's been taken, and you can see they don't take the meat. Very rarely take the flippers. It's just purely taken for the skin. This is one note. It's pretty fresh. You can see the rib cage is still standing. The rib cage normally collapses. So this is a guy who's skinning the pelts. There was actually a lead of water in between us. I couldn't get any closer, so it's actually on quite a long lens. And he kind of, he saw what I was doing, taking this picture, and he just defiantly kind of tossed this carcass aside to show me he could, I guess.
So I'm just curious what you guys thought of that experience in there, seeing those photographs and meeting that man who's witnessed such beauty and brutality out on the ice floes. How did it make you feel?
I think it's amazing what he's doing, really. I just think a lot of people in Vancouver don't really care or notice about stuff like that, and it's a really concerning issue, and I think we really need to take awareness of stuff like that. We live in Vancouver, one of the best places to live in, and a lot of trendy places sell this stuff, and a lot of people are attracted to this stuff, but they didn't really know necessarily where it comes from, exactly what these animals go through, and where does it obtain. I think we really need to start realizing that.
Would you ever wear seal products, knowing what you've seen now?
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Never again.